I'd like to know what you think about it out there. 844-570-1360. How do you feel about the Padres being as great as they currently are and as great as they could be moving forward in this year of the pandemic? Do you look at it differently? You know, you don't always get to choose when exactly is your time. Sometimes you just have to recognize it, pay attention, and then go out and capture it. If you're a general manager and you're watching this team and you're seeing how they seem to enjoy to play with each other, for each other, and you not only look at how also the manager you brought in has seemed to be a good fit with this team. When you are getting the spectacular performances, not only from Fernando Tatis Jr., Eric Hosmer's year, Will Myers' year, Manny Machado's year, the job that you did finding Jake Cronenworth to be as good as he is, the way that you've been able to have good starting pitching early on, and the bullpen has actually been pretty damn good as of late, that you would be a fool to not say, even if this isn't the most normal of years, this year feels like it has chosen the Padres of the path that they needed to take to be a buyer instead of a seller. You would be a fool to ignore this team and just stand pat. And just to clarify, there is no asterisk next to this World Series. People will always have something to say, perhaps, about it, but you will always have the last laugh as the team left standing, whoever goes on to win it. I also look at it as from a business aspect. Fox Sports San Diego the other day, the last game against Colorado Rockies, which the Rockies aren't the sexiest of teams. They don't have the biggest fan bases. That was the most watched game in Fox Sports San Diego history. And guess what? It comes off of not only how great this team is playing, but the moves that are made as well. And if you look at it as a business, I think you'd also be hard-pressed to not say now is a great time. Even though you can't fill a ballpark, even though you can't get concessions, even though you can't get parking, we all know what this year has been like for us. And we all know just how much it means to have, if you want to call it a distraction or if you want to call it something for you and your family to get behind as a city, as a community, we all know what this team has meant to us, to add some smiles, to add something else to think about, to add something else to tweet about, to Facebook about. We know emotionally what sports can provide for us, and this team ultimately has way, way, way overproduced, I think, of what we ever thought sports could mean. And when you are a business like this, sports operates off of emotion. You know, I've been listening to a lot about investment money, dealing with things, just, first-time homeowner, thinking about
Adulting.
college. I'm trying my best. And so if you think about financially making good financial decisions, well, guess what? Going to a ball game on a Sunday and dropping $367 is not necessarily a great financial decision. There is no return on that money except for the emotional rewards that you get for being with your family and enjoying a team. And you cannot talk people into spending the money, which is not a great financial decision, unless they are emotionally invested. So if you watch what the Padres are doing now, what it means to this community, what it means to this city. I did a national radio hit yesterday about the Padres. I haven't done many of those since one particular team left because people haven't wanted to talk about the Padres. People all around the country are talking about the Padres, but more importantly, they are your team. So A.J. Preller cannot ignore what this team has going for it. And the ownership, they have spent more money by the moves that they have made while they are not filling a ballpark. But at the same time, emotionally, it is a great long-term investment. It is a tremendous long-term investment in the year 2020, where nothing seems to be either going right or coming easy to us. This team is one that is providing so much for a city, for your neighborhood, for your family, and for your community. And by the way, for those that would try to shout down your accomplishments in 2020, what part of this year has come easier? I get it. It's a 60-game season. Well, you've got an extended playoffs, which means you'll have to win more playoff games to become a champion anyways. But the thing that we all have in common, whether it's a Major League Baseball team or you, Fletch, or me, or any of our listeners out there, nothing's handed to you in 2020, especially toilet paper. Like, what's been easy about this year? Literally nothing. So for those that say, "Wow, you won in a season where there are only 60 games," it's like, "Oh, really? You mean trying to play through a pandemic and going on the road and making sure that no one came down with the coronavirus, so no one could leave their hotel room, and travel was different, and oh, by the way, playing in front of empty ballparks, and you had zero home field advantage, and the playoffs potential were in a bubble. This is what made being a world champion in 2020 so much easier. It's absurd. So good for the Padres. Good for A.J. Preller. If other teams want to back up this year, then you know what? Run over them. Run over them. Swing on 3-0, right?
Move that asterisk from this year to 2017 where it belongs.
Exactly. If people go, "Oh, should there be an asterisk by 2020?" It's like, hey, talk to 2017. All right? That's the real problem.